MLP Fanfic, The Equestrian Hacker, Chapter 3, Sanitys' Fault. Matt, he didn't know what to think of himself. Right now, Matt was walking down a dirt road, staring around him. If someone were to look through their eyes, someone normal, someone not Matt, they would see beautiful blue skies with white clouds swirling around the horizon. They would see the lush green landscape before them as trees are sprouting from the ground around, with beautiful colored flowers scattering the fields, adding color to life, life's infinite canvas. However, what Matt sees is something different. Right now, at this very moment, he's phasing. Matt blinked as he looked around, his surroundings becoming more clear by the second. There in the dirt road was a person, an actual person, but they were laying down. Matt walked over. His heart, it began to thump very gently. Ever so gently it thumped. Please, no. Please. Matt got closer. With every step it felt like he was being dragged down further, further into the depths of his nightmares. He took one step forward. The sweat began to drip. He took another step forward. His paranoia was surrounding him, getting the best of him. His body began to shake violently. As he finally got there, he grit his teeth and looked down at the corpse that was now his mother. Her entrails were scattered. She was disemboweled. That much was clear. She had a carved smile and her head was bashed in. He looked to his right and saw another person, his father, stapled, no, fucking bolted into a tree. It was a sick version of a crucifixion gone wrong. Not saying that they all go right, but you get the gist. He was hanging upside down, crucified. He too had his entrails ripped out, but the sickening thing was, part of his stomach was ripped open. And he had flowers. Somebody, some sicko, took flowers and stuffed them in his stomach. And there were even some coming out of his mouth. And it lay sprawled apart, like some demented version of modern art. It was awful. Matt shook more violently as he held his head and began to cry, weep. This wasn't his fault. This wasn't any of his fault. To him, part of him that didn't want to believe this, thought this was sick. However, a part of him thought this was a true masterpiece, a design gifted by the gods. He looked to his left and another sight greeted him that fucking sickened him to his stomach. His very core shook when he saw it. It was like a tree. But fuck. A mass. A gelatinous mass. A fleshy mass. The only way to describe it was it looked like a human flower. A bunch of bodies put together with barbed wire, strapped together with it, leaned up by some wooden spikes, as at the very top they were all decapitated, their heads nowhere to be seen but the arms. Oh fuck, the arms. Somebody had sewed them to the top, 2 for every head. It looked like a sick display. Then he turned to his right, again hearing something. Before he could see it, he woke up. He had woken up from that sick fucking nightmare. He breathed in. He held his face and did the one thing he could. He wept. That was the only thing he could think to do in this situation. He wept. The anger, the pity, the rage, the sorrow melting inside of him. He was going insane. Or maybe he was already insane. Maybe he was broken. Maybe this was some fixture of a false reality. Maybe he was in a comatose state, living out the last of his days in some weird fever dream. But no, this was reality. Even the broken can decipher what reality is. And that's no different from Matt. He picked himself up and walked. He walked and walked and walked. Right now, he was breaking. He was having this moment. There were ponies and people bolted to fucking trees all around him. Their beaten, broken faces. Some people had their eyes gouged out and their teeth were replaced in them. Some people had gashes on their faces, lacerations covering their body. People were cut open, disemboweled, ripped, shredded, fucking flayed. You name it, it happened. Burned, boiled, beaten. There was not one thing that the sick imagination couldn't see here. Finally, he snapped out of it. Someone or some pony placed a hoof on his leg, snapping him out of it. He turned to his right to see a female pony. He said, "Oh, you don't want to be around me. Trust me, you don't want to be around me." She looked and said, surprisingly. Why not? You seem alright. This surprised him. What's your name? My name is Matt. Matt. Sorry, I'm just taken aback. That beautiful young lady such as yourself would come and talk to someone such as me. She blushed and looked away and giggled into her hoof, and looked back at him and said, "Oh, no worry. Well, my name is Velvet Cream. It's nice to meet you, Matt."